What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love power, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today we're going to be talking about Power Book for Force Season 2. Should we see more Power OGs return? That is the topic of discussion because I believe Power OGs bring a lot to the table. The storylines that they have, it connects with the fans a little bit more because we're used to seeing them in the original Power. And the storytelling to me is usually very, very interesting. So we're going to talk about that in today's video. You guys make sure you checked out my last video, Remembering Liliana. Now, this is why I'm doing this video, because of Liliana. Now, Liliana's character arc in Power Book for Force Season 1 had everybody talking because we wanted to know what was she into, who was coming for her. It was a lot of different secrets around her character, but to see a Power OG, it was like, man, okay, so now we got people from Tommy's past coming back and he's going to have to deal with them. And we know Liliana, she brought the Serbian issue, and that whole storyline was great in my opinion. Do I wish Liliana's character could have survived? Yes, I wanted to see more of her character, especially based off how she performed in the first season of Power Book for Force. I'm looking like, man, imagine if this girl was in the original Power way more than she, was, right? It would have been even better in my opinion, just based off what she was doing this season. But Liliana is gone, you know what I'm saying? So we got to deal with it. I know everybody doesn't necessarily like that. I don't. Like I told you guys, I wish the girl could have lived and, her and Tommy could have did their thing in Chicago. But it's not the case. So this is why we got to go back and just go over different Power OGs. Which Power OGs could make the show better? Do you believe that Power OGs make the show better? And we're going to go over, a select few of people, as well as some characters that could pop up in Power Book 2 Go Season 3 as well. But like I said, this is just a prediction video, more of a theory video, just on some of the characters that the fans have been talking about throughout the years that we want to see return, right? Now, I also want you guys to get your early predictions ready. Think of your early predictions for Power Book for Force Season 2. We're going to go over those early predictions this week and talk about what can possibly happen in Season 2 of this show. I think it's a lot to tell, and Tommy has a lot on his plate. So like I said, get your early predictions ready. But as far as this topic of discussion, as far as, the Power OGs returning into this show and possibly Power Book 2 Go Season 3, let's start off, man. Now, 2-Bit. You already know we had to talk about 2-Bit. Now, 2-Bit's character, when he was, brought up in Power Book 2 Go Season 1, all the fans was going crazy. All the fans was going crazy. And it almost felt like a switch hit. It had everybody more engaged, and we wanted to see more of his character. And before the shows even aired out, 2-Bit was one of those characters that all the fans was talking about in the first place. They was like, man, I can't wait to see what 2-Bit gonna do. When Tommy's show got announced, a lot of the fans was talking about 2-Bit coming to Chicago or whatever, him and Tommy linking up, working together. So we seen 2-Bit in Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1. We did not see him at all in Season 2. It was rumors. We know IMDb put, information up on the website, which was false information. We got a troll out there, somebody putting up false information, because we know 2-Bit didn't return for Season 2. We didn't even get Roberto or Cristobal. We're going to talk about those characters as well. But as far as 2-Bit coming back, he's an OG character. I mean, do we even got to talk about what he brings to the table? 2-Bit gets the job done, plain and simple. He's a character that everybody wants to see. We already seen it in the past. Him and Tommy Egan's storyline, it makes sense because the two work together, right? So this is why a lot of the people were saying, like, man, we want to see 2-Bit return. Is he going to show up in this show? Will he be back in Power Book 2 Ghost? I mean, what's going on? We did not get to see him at all these prior seasons. So hopefully, I hope they're not done with 2-Bit's character. 2-Bit brought a whole different element to the show, and a lot of people tuned in even more, in my opinion. Views and all that went up, at least on my channel, when 2-Bit's character returned. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the fans engaged a little bit more because they saw a Power OG and they like 2-Bit. You know what I'm saying? This dude is a loyal soldier. He used to roll with bitch ass Dre, and of course he started rolling with Tommy, and then y'all know how that went. Him and Tariq, they did their little thing, but 2-Bit's character has to return. I almost 100% that the Power Universe, they want to see him, whether it's in any of these shows. But I would love to see him in Power Book for Force alongside Tommy Egan. But we know Tommy, he don't really want people from New York coming to Chicago But things can change. We seen what happened with Liliana, right? So, you guys let me know about that. Now, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's talk about a power OG that we ain't seen in years. And this type of storyline will probably only work for this character if they go back to the club scene. And I'm talking about your boy, Kantos. Y'all remember Kantos from the original Power? He used to work up under Ghost, but he was doing all these different moves behind Ghost's back. Ghost didn't necessarily like the things that he was doing, so he let the boy go, right? Now, what do y'all think about him returning? Now, we know in Power Book 4 Force, we know that Claudia, she be doing, some business within the clubs or whatever. Her and Tommy, they had like an agreement where she do the clubs, Tommy worked the streets. But what if Kantos was to return? But the thing about Kantos, we know he was based in New York. And if he was to come to Chicago, that means he would have probably got an opportunity to come out there to do business. But even if Kantos did not return, and I honestly don't care that much if Kantos does return. I just knew that dude was a shady character. But I'm more, willing to see the Bassett family. We talking about Karen Bassett, who had clubs all around the country, her and her father, right? We saw what Ghost and her did. We saw what Karen Bassett and Dre, what they did. So, the whole club scene was something that we were used to seeing in the original Power because that was more based off Ghost's storyline. But what I'm saying is if they're showing Claudia all up in the clubs and stuff, I would not be mad if somehow, some way she ran into one of the Bassets or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's if they want to do it. I'm not really too pressed on that type of return as far as the Power OG, but it would be very interesting to see that connection, seeing that the Bassett family was very big in the whole club thing. Now, let's skip over the whole club scene, the Bassett family, and let's go to Elisa Marie. Now, Elisa Marie's character was a very, very interesting character in the original Power. Her story arc with Tommy Egan, especially in his episode of Power, we talking about, I believe it was episode 13 of season 6, right? Now, Elisa Marie, she knew the truth about what Tommy Egan did to her pops. And even though she knew the truth, she was still willing to have conversations with this dude, talk to him, and work with him or whatever. Now, that's what made everything so interesting because Tommy Egan knew what he'd done to Joe Proctor, but he had this connection with Elisa Marie. A lot of the fans, they want to see Elisa Marie's return just to see that story arc. We know Elisa Marie, her auntie, that was played by Debbie Mazar. That whole Italian story arc was crazy. It was crazy to see all those different connections between Joe Proctor and the Italians. Of course, his cousin Benny. We know what happened to Benny. But the whole Elisa Marie storyline, I believe, is very, very interesting. And it is something that I believe they can bring it to the show. I don't know what's going to happen this season, but I honestly believe in the future of this show, I could see Elisa Marie's character returning and her and Tommy having another conversation because they had a lot of chemistry, man. Even though it was one episode only that we saw the two together in, actual scenes, I believe that chemistry was real, real good and almost felt like she was his family, but she understood the things that he had to do based off her father's lifestyle. And I believe Courtney Kemp, she even stated that she would love to work with Elisa Marie, having her back into the show. That would be great in my opinion, man. What do y'all think about Elisa Marie's character returning to Power, being a part of the whole Tommy Egan storyline in the future? And speaking of Elisa Marie, we got to talk about another character, another young character, because we know Elisa Marie, she older now. But another character that's a little bit older now is Cash. Now, we saw a little bit of Cash in season 1 of Power Book 2 Ghost, right? When Tommy came into town and he saw him. Now, Cash is also a little bit older too. He's bigger, and the Cash storyline makes sense as well, seeing that Tommy and Lakeisha had that connection, that relationship with each other. And y'all know Tommy, he wants to make sure that Cash is good, which at the end of the day, Cash, he can pop up in any of these shows. They can put it where Tommy wants to see Cash somehow or whatever. I know he doesn't want to go back to New York, but I don't know how that would write that out in the future. But we also know since Cash is in New York, he's a little bit older. A lot of you guys have been talking about Cash will be pissed off if he finds out about the truth of what Tariq, or at least Tariq being the reason that Lakeisha was dead, right? Because we know Lakeisha is dead because of Tasha said, you know what? I can't have you go out there and be snitching. So she took out Lakeisha because of Tariq, for real. They were trying to protect, I guess, their families. So what's going to happen when Cash's father finds out the truth? Because y'all know when, Kadeem, he was asking Tommy, like, do you know what happened to Lakeisha or whatever? But he also was talking about he wants to find out. And if he does find out, it's going to be some problems. So what do y'all think about this whole Cash storyline? Because the Cash storyline can bring his father, Kadeem, back into the picture. And it could be some issues for Tariq. That's if, they want to take it that far. But I would not mind seeing Cash's character return to the show. Now, let's talk about another possible character. And this character is more of a character that can pop up in another spinoff. And we're talking about your girl, Ramona. Now, Ramona, she was heavily involved in Power Season 6. She was a part of the whole, political storyline with Rashad Tate and Ghost. And she had, a strong connection with Ghost. Now, Ramona, she can be a part of Rashad Tate's storyline, in my opinion. Rashad Tate is in Power Book 2 Ghost, and it would make a lot of sense if Ramona was to come back and if they was going to actually give us Power Book 5 Influence. That was a spinoff that, as far as I know, was in pre-production. I'm willing to actually sit down and watch this show. I want this show still to come. A lot of the fans have been talking about it and asking if the show is still going to happen. So I guess we got to wait on Starz to give us that official answer. But as far as I know, the show was in pre-production. But it is what it is with that. In the whole Ramona storyline and Rashad Tate, I just feel like if they was going to actually bring that spinoff, have a Ramona pop up and Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 or in the future will make a lot of sense to try to build more on Rashad Tate's storyline. Now, if that is the case, I would say you might as well bring back Cassandra as well, because she was a part of that whole storyline, and her and Rashad Tate, they had some issues. You know what I'm saying? They had some issues, and it seems like this girl was going to have a very strong character arc, and I know she got like a certain position in that show as far as the political world that probably could have caused some issues for Rashad, but that's why I want to see more of that type of storyline. That's if they want to continue it, man. Like I told you guys, I'm very excited for the whole Rashad Tate storyline. I think it's something different. We're so used to seeing, the drug game and everything like that. But the political game is crazy. These guys are very, very dirty. And this is why I wanted to see how Power was going to take that story arc and, deliver it as a whole spinoff. We know the whole Ghost being lieutenant governor. That storyline was very interesting in my opinion. And it had a lot of fans talking about, man, I would love to see a spinoff with Ghost in politics. But we know Ghost ain't here no more. So Rashad Tate, I guess he's going to have to lead the way. But let's talk about another character. And this character is your boy, Cristobal, right? Now, Cristobal was another character that was rumored to be in Power Book 4 Force and also in Power Book 2 Ghost Season 2. Now, once again, just like 2-Bit's character, we had Cristobal's information getting put up on IMDb. Like I said, we got a troll out there. Somebody is trolling because they know people are going to talk about this. But he was supposed to be in both of these shows, did not pop up at all. And Cristobal's character, making a return makes a lot of sense. And the actor that actually plays Cristobal, he even kind of made hints about, where is Cristobal? What's going to happen, if he was to return? So this is why a lot of the fans was asking these questions like, man, so, Cristobal's going to return. What he going to be on? We know he was connected to the Jimenez family, right? And he had issues with Tommy before he was locked up. And we know what Dre did to him and Elisa Marie. Now, Cristobal gets out. What's going to happen? That's, up to the writers on how they want to build that up. But to me, I think it makes a lot of sense to see a character like him return. And I just believe they can do a lot with that, type of story, just based off what they've done in the past with OG characters. And also, people talked about Roberto returning. He was also rumored to return, but we did not see him at all. And these are characters that's all connected to the Tommy Egan storyline. So, of course, they can pop up in Force if they, want them to do that, or seeing that they are based in New York. We talking about Cristobal, 2-Bit, and Roberto. I mean, I wouldn't mind regardless if they popped up in Ghost. And let's just be honest. All these, these characters that I talked about, which I'm pretty sure is more characters. If you guys got any, y'all leave it down below. But with all these OG characters being connected to Power Book 4 Force, being connected to Power Book 2 Ghost, this is all building up for the Power, crossover episode between Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Book 4 Force. In the past, we saw little bits of it. Of course, Tommy coming to, Tariq's show at the end of Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1. And of course, at the end of Power Book 4 Force Season 1, when they showed your girl Blanca Rodriguez, they showed Jenny Sullivan, we saw Agent Medina. These are little small things to me that's just building up that crazy episode. And I hope the writers, I really hope that they make this crossover episode. A lot of the fans have been talking about it, but could you imagine like a good like hour and a half? That's probably not going to happen, but you know, an hour, 15-minute episode of Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Book 4 Force, the crossover episode. It needs to happen. It needs to happen. I'm very excited if they actually do this. These characters, at least these OG characters, they're connected to both spinoffs, right? They're connected to the whole Power universe, and it makes sense for them to have that crossover episode at the same time. As I told you, in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense to bring back some of these characters. Liliana has shown us just what an OG character can do. 2-Bit has shown us what an OG character can do in these spinoffs. So, as a fan of the show, we just want to see more. You know what I'm saying? We want to see your boy 2-Bit return. We want to see, you know, more of these characters return. Elisa Marie down the line. And, you know, if I have to pick 3 of them to return, I would say give me 2-Bit for sure. I need 2-Bit's character to return. Of course, Elisa Marie's character down the line for Tommy's show will be great. And, you know, maybe Cristobal. You know what I'm saying? Those 3 characters makes a lot of sense to me. And also, before we end the video, I forgot to talk about this character, your girl, Destiny. What happened to her? The last time that we saw Destiny was in Power Season 5. I believe Blanca Rodriguez was talking to her or whatever about the whole Ray Ray thing. And she was asking her if anybody else came to talk to her, which we know Angela came and talked to her. But Destiny felt some type of way when she found out about Ray Ray being smoked or whatever, not coming back. So do you guys believe that that is something that they can dive into as far as the storyline for her character? We saw the ghost of Ray Ray in Power Book 2 Ghost Season 2. We saw him come back. So what about Destiny? Will she come back asking questions? You know, we know Tariq and her, that was his first. You know what I'm saying? Those are the first cheeks your boy Tariq clapped. He had to get up in that. And I know deep down inside, he going to be thinking about her. I mean, he ain't got Lauren no more. He going to be thinking about all the girls he messed around with. And I will be surprised if Destiny does return, but that would be crazy if she does return to the storyline somehow, some way, at least for a few episodes, just to give more of a closure between her and Tariq. Now, that's if they actually want to do it. All I'm saying is this: Power OGs, they bring a lot to the show, and, you know, it can make some very interesting storylines. But you guys let me know. You leave your theories, predictions, leave it all down below. Let me know, what Power OG do you want to see return? Does it make sense to bring back Power OGs? All I'm saying is this: based off what we saw, these Power OGs make the show way more better. These spinoffs become way better when the OGs return. And I think that's going to be something that we got to look to down the line, because more OGs is coming. You already know this, right? They're going to come. So I guess we got to wait and see which of them actually make that return. But as I told you guys, get your early predictions ready. We're going to talk about Power Book 4 Season 2, the early predictions. We got your boy Gary Lennon. Gary Lennon, the Power OG, triple OG, one of my favorite writers, directors. This dude, he is going to be, you know, the showrunner for Power Book 4 Season 2, and he gonna get the job done. He has some of my favorite episodes from the original Power, and seeing that him and Joseph Sikora will be working together for Season 2 of this show, man, I'm telling you right now, I'm already knowing that Season 2 gonna be better, because Gary Lennon's talent is like no other, and I got high expectations for his work, so I cannot wait to see that. But as I told you guys, get those early predictions together. We're going to talk about it this week and, you know, go over what may just happen in this next season. But I want to thank you guys for all the love, all the support. We got more Power content coming. I know we got a break coming. We also got some more shows starting up very, very soon. So we're going to get ready for all the new shows and, you know, just prepare for what's to come. But thank you guys for all the love, all the support, and I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.